National Park. I don't think I've even been to any. But are there more natural parks and natural tourist sites we have here in Ghana?
Yeah, there are more. There are more. For example, if you go to the Oti region, the Oti region can boast of a very beautiful place, Chabobo National Park. Yeah, Chabobo also has, you like the name, isn't it?
Yeah,
Chabobo National Park, great place.
Where exactly is it located though?
It is in the Oti region.
Okay.
Right. So it's in I'll get the name. Okay. But it is in the Oti region. Right. That park also contributes a lot to our scenic landmarks. You would realize that when you get there, you have some of the various species there. Right. And then there are a lot of tree species also there, right? You would get to appreciate nature. It is under the purview of the Forestry Commission. Most of these national parks are under the purview of the Forestry Commission.
Okay.
So the Forestry Commission works directly with the Ghana Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Okay. They work with us directly just to make sure that some of these parks are kept well. Don't forget that Parks and Gardens are also involved in some of our parks, like Legon Gardens. Yeah. Right. And then also we have Ebri Botanical Gardens. All these places are parks that, of course, we need to preserve and conserve them. That is why you would realize that the Tourism Authority in recent times, we are making sure that some of these places also are kept well, right? Where things go wrong, we make sure that we are in talks with the Parks and Gardens and also the Forestry Commission just to make sure that it is kept well.
So I hear the Mole National Park is as big as Accra. Is it true?
Very, very big.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
The Mole National Park is big.
Okay.
It's very big. Has a lot of species. Right from the farm, the elephants too. They have a lot of things there. A lot of species there.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's an embodiment of tourism up north, because we have a lot of tourists that come into the country and would love to experience the national parks, more especially the Mole National Park. It creates in exchange for us a lot of jobs created, because around it there are a lot of jobs, a lot of people doing menial jobs and all that, right? Creating a lot of foreign exchange, and there is a lot more with the Mole National Park.
So what about our beaches? Because the beaches here in Accra, there's a big question mark on them.
Yeah.
Can we regard them as also scenic landmarks?
Of course they are. Yes, they are. You know, they are in a sense that you do recall I told you that our chief executive undertook a walk through Jamestown.
Yes.
Then they came all the way to Black Star Square. They had to go to Laboma Beach. Yeah, they went to Laboma Beach, to also La Pleasure Beach. The beaches. As a matter of fact, our chief executive has been very particular since she took office just this year in January. She's been very particular about the beaches, because the beaches breaks in a lot into the national kitty. Why do I say this? The beaches, when kept clean, has a lot of revelers coming in there. Don't forget that we have a lot of foreigners in the country, and these foreigners, a lot of them like the beaches.
Yeah.
When we watch their movies and all that, we see them lying around the beaches. But unfortunately, most of these beaches are not kept well. So we have drawn a plan. The plan is to make sure that we enforce certain policies at the beaches. And these policies, of course, the Ghana Tourism Authority is not resting on it all to make sure that these beaches are kept well. Don't forget there are beaches in the Western region, some in the Volta region, right? Some also in Greater Accra and other areas. So all of these beaches, we have the plan to make sure that we infiltrate into these areas and to ensure, say, at least things that go on there are rightly within the policy that we have drawn. There are various tourist sites and attractions sometimes around these beaches. What we are trying to do is to make sure that as we are tackling these beaches, Also, we are tackling the tourist site and attractions around these beaches.
Okay.
Polo Beach Club is there. We have the Labadi Beach Hotel, right, which is a hotel, and then we have La Palm, right. We have La Pleasure Beach, right. So all these places, of course, the Tourism Authority is looking forward to make sure that, and then also apart from all these, service is very key. Service delivery and customer service at these places are very key to us. Making sure that these places also bring out the best of service delivery to our tourists and people of African descent, our diasporans and tourists that come into the country.
Okay, so I think I saw a documentary some time back where there's a particular beach here in Accra, and it is full of clothes, waste. I think what they call it, is it something waste, where it's a lot of clothes and canoes, and it is not even, nobody in their right mind would want to even visit that place. So in a situation like this where your ministry and the authority is looking to, put in some efforts to clean up the place a little, what happens to such areas? Because it seems like it's a sea-fill site. So the way those places are, that's the reason why we have decided to put a hold on them and make sure that we have them within our purview. And then one thing that we are bringing to fruition, of course, I made this platform to let your listeners also know, we are going to put together a project which we call Tourism Police. Okay.
Yes. The Tourism Police is, I have seen them in Thailand.
Okay.
Right. In Thailand and other areas we have the tourism police, the normal police. So you have the tourism police that are going to ensure that at the beaches and the various tourist sites, we are bringing the tourism police mainly for the beaches and also various tourist sites and attractions. Because in the beaches, it looks like people are not easy to be controlled, right? But if you have these tourism police there, it means they'll be controlled. Yeah, you dare not put rubbish by the beaches, right? There will also be sanitation all over the places. Where you have dustbins all over the places. And the tourism police will make sure that these areas are kept well. And I think that it wouldn't be long, there'll be a launch of the tourism police by our Honorable Minister and the Chief Executive. Of course, our deputy CEOs will also be fully involved. Let me take the opportunity to say that we at the Tourism Authority are looking forward to make sure that the tourism industry and then Ghana remains a preferred tourist destination in Africa and for the rest of the world.
Beautiful. So we have a question here. It says, please, Yara, does your guest know about any monkey sanctuary in Doma?
Yeah, Duasidan Monkey Sanctuary.
Okay.
Yeah. So Duasidan Monkey Sanctuary is a place where, of course, it's a tourist site, which of course falls within the Bono region, and in promoting those areas, we know that there are some challenges within some of the tourist sites, right? We are trying to nip some of them in the bud, just to make sure that our tourist sites, of course, we cannot finish all of them at a go, but gradually we'll be able to put some of them on check. And Duasidan is a very wonderful place. It's a monkey sanctuary, which of course has a large number of monkeys. They are believed to be ancestors, of course. If you go to Tafi and Tobin Monkey Sanctuary, they are also believed to also have a number of ancestral lineages, right, where it is ancestors that came and turned into monkeys and all that. But of course, these you cannot always shoot it down, but they are things that obviously are within the remit of the people living there. So Duasidan is a very nice place, and I would encourage a lot of people to go there because Duasidan gives you a scenic view, right? You have these monkeys, of course, you get to appreciate in their habitat. Right, you appreciate their habitat, you form part of their habitat. Now, they are very friendly, they are not harmful, right? That is why the place is a tourist site. Any place named as a tourist site means that there is control. Okay. We always put the necessary controls there just to make sure that at least these tourist sites, of course, also becomes friendly, bringing in tourists, creating jobs, creating employment, creating foreign exchange, and then also what we call the national heritage, national cohesion. With national cohesion, of course, somebody mentioning Jiasidan in Doma. You as Yaya would love to go there. Yes. Once you go there, you immerse yourself in the community, what we call community engagement. So you form part of the people. You tend to visit the various tourist sites within the area. So we are trying to promote Funua tourism also.
So I think the person who asked the question is also saying that what are you doing about it, because it seems to be going into extinction?
Yes, that's why I mentioned early on that Jiasidan has some challenges, which we are trying to nip it in the bud. Okay. Right. There was even a story by one of the media houses that has to do with Jiasidan. Okay. And what happened was that we have sent our regional directors there, and also we are also in talks with the various stakeholders, right? The community. Usually we have the chiefs also as stakeholders. We have the opinion leaders. We have the Ghana Tourism Authority. We have the Forestry Commission, and we have, of course, the community as also stakeholders. So we engage is a holistic engagement where we get each and every other views as to how to make sure that at least the place is kept well. Okay,
so we've done the land and the sea. Let's go to the waterfalls and talk about them a little. We only know of Vli waterfalls, and even the mountainous areas. It seems we have a lot of tourist attractions here in Ghana, but we don't know them because aside Vli waterfalls and then Oti Falls in the Volta region, I think there are a few even in the eastern region close to my end, Obosomase areas. So I just touch on those for us, then we go quickly into talking about promoting our cultural heritage.
Yeah, so waterfalls form a bigger part of also our tourism. Why would I say that? They also what we call tourism, right? They form a part of our health tourism. You know, some people go to these waterfalls, and even the water that falls on you gives you some kind of relief, some kind of health relief. Wow. Right? So it's classified as part of our health tourism enclaves, right? So we have, like you said, most of these, of course, in Greater Accra we have Chinku Waterfall also around the Shire Hills area. So what we are doing is that at any point in time, these waterfalls give a lot of scenic views to a number of people, right? So we drive tourists there. We make sure that these waterfalls, of course, serve as tourist sites, and then we get the necessary advantages that the country needs to get from them. Waterfalls, of course, just as it is. Also, we also look at how to marry them with the greens, right? Greenery and waterfalls go together. As the case be, it helps us to also sell these packages. We've had a number of our tour operators selling these packages to the various waterfalls across the country. And these waterfalls, I don't know if when they have challenges, what the Tourism Authority does is that we have our regional offices that also go in and then make sure that these challenges are also taken care of. I don't know if there are specific issues that we would want to tackle when it comes to the waterfalls, but
there should be, because I think there were some pictures and videos that started trending, that the color of I don't remember which particular waterfall it was, Galamsey. But it seems because of Galamsey, the color of the water had changed and it may not necessarily be healthy anymore. So it seems that Galamsey may also be part of your problem.
Yes. So our stakeholders have advocated for that, and also the Tourism Authority and the Ministry have gone through the various stages to make sure that Friends for Water Bodies, we have some of our stakeholders who have also made that submissions to government, just to make sure that some of these waterfalls do not incur the wrath of Galamsey. But that video that came out, of course, a lot of people saw it. It was such that there was some work being done.
Okay.
And it threw it into the waterfall.
Okay.
That is what really happened. Right. So we sent it actually happened, I think, in the Bongahavo region. Okay. It happened in the Bono region. So we sent some of our regional officers there. The director himself was there. He even granted an interview at the waterfall when the waterfall was clear. Because it looks like it was within a short time space that the water got colored.
Okay.
And it wasn't, as a matter of fact, it wasn't an issue of Galamsey.
Okay.
Yes, it wasn't. But Galamsey has effect also on our waterfalls.
Yes.
It definitely has effect on our waterfall. And that is where, when we saw that, we had to quickly move in with our regional offices, because we have most of these waterfalls in our regions. We don't have most of them in the Greater Accra region. Yeah. So what we did was to engage our regional offices for them to go there and then make sure that they deal with the REDSEC, Regional Security Councils, and then the various agencies that need. So they have been working on it. And since that time, we haven't been able to have any of such effect on our waterfalls or on our tourist sites and attractions.
So I have one more question, but before that, the phone line is open, so please do well to call and ask your questions, any pressing questions about our historical landmarks and sites. Our guest here will do well to answer them. Yes, Ghanaian citizens will not forgive me if I don't ask about our river bodies and the very pressing issue of Galamsey and what the Tourism Authority and the ministry is doing about it.
Yeah, so it comes to buttress the point that I made, my closing remarks, waterfalls. We as an authority work with various bodies. So tourism, we say, is a multi-sectorial approach. Right. We have various stakeholders that we work with. Yeah. We work with the various NGOs that are involved with preserving and protecting our rivers and water bodies. Very, very key and very important. All these, I'm trying to remember a particular stakeholder that we've been working with. Okay. We've been working with them, of course. A very good friend is the vice president of that body. I'm trying to remember them. We work with them directly. Okay. We make sure that issues that has to do with rivers and water bodies are channeled through that private sector stakeholder body, that these issues are put to government, for government to understand that once we lose our rivers and water bodies, we should know that we are losing our tourism. Yeah. Tourism encompasses a lot more than what we see, the tourist sites and attractions. The rivers and water bodies also form a larger chunk of it. For example, if you look at the Volta Lake, imagine the Volta Lake gets to be colored. Right.
It's on the way.
Imagine. Yeah. So imagine it becomes colored. Right. Imagine, you know, we have the Dodi Princess. Right. Imagine tourists are on the Dodi Princess and the water is colored. It means that we are not going to have tourists to be on the Dodi Princess. Do you get it? Good. Not only the Dodi Princess, but there are a lot of other places like Adan. You know, Adan, when you get to Adan, we have a lot of rivers and water bodies there. That even people, we usually do what we call regatta. Right. In the central region, usually during Edina Bakatue Festival, we undertake what we call regatta. Right, regional regatta. So the regatta is such that, like, they are racing on the water body. Yeah. Right, you have a number of groups, the various ASAFO companies. You have them doing racing on the water bodies. So imagine the water body is colored. Would they be able to do that? No. It would be very difficult to have some of these people go and say, oh, we want to have regatta. No, the place is colored. So even the tourists that will come and be watching, they'll be wondering, wow, you are doing this in this particular colored water. So we are working directly with agencies, collaborators, and partners, just to make sure that, of course, we've had a number of NGO bodies and the World Bank. World Bank has been very supportive in this endeavor, because when we started with the renovation of the various tourist sites and attractions, the World Bank has also been there, giving the needed technical and financial support to make sure that some of these things are also taken note of and taken care of. The technical supports have helped us a lot, because we've had technical minds who have been able to at least put the necessary policies, the necessary things in place, just to make sure that we get it right.
Okay. So in a situation where some of our river bodies have even the flow has been changed, or the course of the river has been changed, is that not a threat to our history and even tourism?
Yeah. So all that goes to buttress the point that we as a people also need to rearrange ourselves. We need to rearrange ourselves on how we do our things, right? The course of the river is changed to a particular place. If you change the course, it means that you are changing its natural habitat.
Yes.
Then it will disturb the other areas. For example, let's say when you change the course and the course goes through a tourist site.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It means that that tourist site is going to suffer, right? Or you change the course and it goes into other areas that it needed not to. Maybe, for example, let's say we are expected to put up maybe a tourism facility, right? Let's say a park. Okay, let's say we have to put up a park. Like let's say, okay, let me give an example of Inshona Park, just around Labadi area, that recently was opened. So let's say the course of our river or the sea is changed. How would Inshona Park also come to bear? It wouldn't come to bear. So we will lose our tourism. Okay. You get it?
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. So Ghana develop and promote our cultural heritage tourism here.
Good. Thank you. There is always a word that we always say. Our tourism is based on our culture. Culture is the foundation of our tourism. It's the foundation of everything that we are doing in tourism. Why would I say this? When you look at our tourists, our diasporans, our foreigners that come into the country, what do they come to look for? The reason is that, it's a rhetorical question anyway, and the reason is that a foreigner will come into the country, and you as a person knows that that foreigner has almost everything in their country. But when they come, what are they to experience in the country? They are to experience your way of life, what you have in a country that they don't have. More especially your clothes, your food, right? Your music, your like a whole lot that has to do with our heritage.
Yeah.
So all of these things is the reason why the diasporan, the tourist, the foreigner will come. So if you don't preserve your cultural heritage, then you're not doing anything. Do you understand? So we've put together principles, a number of policies that would help us to preserve our culture. One is about education. Like, for example, you are doing here. So Clock TV and a number of media houses have also endangered into the conversations where the Heritage Month that the Ghana Tourism Authority launched. We've had a number of institutions like the media houses educating the general public. Right, like what Egudi has done here, you see. All these are very interesting. Yes. They are very interesting. Appreciate what we have. We tend to wear our clothes.
Yes.
We tend to appreciate. If we don't appreciate our own, then nobody can come and appreciate it for us.
That's true.
Right. So these are some of the ways that we are using to be able to get our culture done. Now, we are trying to marry music with tourism, right? Music and tourism. How we can use music to impact on our culture. It is very key. Why do I say this? Because in using our music, what happens is that our language is embedded in our music. Our food, our clothes, they are all embedded in our music. So you would realize that our music in itself has a lot to also offer. So we can use our music to promote and preserve our cultural heritage, thereby promoting cultural tourism. Now, the cultural tourism in itself also has some underpins to it. And these underpins has a lot that we as a people can also salivate from. If you look at culture being the foundation of our tourism, our cultural heritage is giving us an impetus for us as a people to say that, so from the pre-colonial era coming all the way and all that, how have we been able to inculcate that into our people, right? Getting our people to understand the reason why our culture is very key. If you look at the 16 regions of Ghana, we have a number of cultures that are on display, right? The National Theatre, of course, has the Ghana Dance Ensemble. We have various dances within the various regions. All of these dances depict the various cultures that we have as a country. And it is time for us to preserve it. In preserving it, it will help to also promote and preserve our cultural tourism. Cultural tourism has a lot that we can salivate from and also get from.
Wow, thank you so much. You mentioned that the Ghana Tourism Authority launched the Heritage Month. So in your closing remarks, can you give us a brief overview of the Heritage Month and then we wrap up quickly?
The Heritage Month is virtually for Ghanaians to appreciate our own. We launched it on the 3rd of March at the Labadi Beach.
Yes.
What we are doing is that we are using the unique Ghana's tourism brand, the Black Star Experience. In recent times, the government's flagship program is the Black Star Experience. The Black Star Experience seeks to let Ghanaians appreciate our heritage, our culture, and everything that encompasses us, right from January to December.
Okay.
Not only December, as in December events and activities that we usually have, but right from January to December. We are looking at having a number of street carnivals, a number of food fair. The food fair, we had a food fair at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. We had 68 at 68. We said taste 68 at 68 food fair. So that was last Friday on the 14th of March. We had about 68 local dishes, right from potom poto, yam, about 68 local dishes. So we brought together the various traditional caterers, indigenous caterers, heritage food and drinks, the various chefs association. They are all part of the tourism value chain. So we brought them together to be able to cook about 68 dishes. And there was a big ceremony that we had on that Friday. So apart from that, we are looking also at the Ghana Music Month. The Ghana Music Month also means that we should consume our local music. We have a lot of music of King Bruce. We have E.T. Mensah, right? All these are people that Osibi says, the Mulamai. These are people that have impacted on our music industry using our local content, our culture, right? So all these are important, of course, where we are looking at the Wear Ghana. We have a domestic marketing campaign, which we call the See Ghana, the Eat Ghana, the Wear Ghana, and then the Feel Ghana. The See Ghana is about the tourist sites and attractions. The Eat Ghana is about our food, which I mentioned early on. Then we have the Wear Ghana. Of course, you are clad in the nice African wear. Then the Feel Ghana is about our music. So we have a number of strategies that we are using just to make sure that Ghanaians appreciate our heritage. We say experience Ghana, share Ghana. Ghana is known as the center of the world, right? We've moved from being a gateway to Africa to also Ghana being the center of the world.
Wow, thank you so much. So if you didn't know anything about Heritage Month, I'm sure our guest here has been able to educate you. So do well to partake in See Ghana, Feel Ghana, Wear Ghana, do something Ghanaian in this month of March. Thank you so much for this conversation. And we hope to see you again very soon, hopefully this month. And a big thank you to you viewers, a big thank you to everybody that joined hands to make the show a success. We say we are most grateful and do have an amazing day ahead.